All right. Welcome to another edition of Distance Learning with Romeo and Juliet and Mr. Quinlan. If you think maybe it's weird for an adult male to be sitting in his house reading Romeo and Juliet into a microphone, you are correct. But anyway, let's before we jump in, let's see what happened yesterday with some statements, some comments from people on Classroom. This is a test to see if you actually listened to the podcast I put out. The question was, what Netflix show should I be watching? And let's see, in period 4, the only one comment. It was Emily. She said, "Shameless." Yeah. I don't know if I've seen a lot of seasons of that. That's inappropriate. That's not appropriate to be discussing in a classroom setting. But yeah, that's a great show. Anyway, let's see what we got in period 7. Period 7. The comment is The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez. That came from someone who is right now in South Carolina with Emily from period 4, so they probably listened to that together. Actually, that looks kind of interesting. I think I might do that one tonight. And let's see what period 9 had to say. Period 9 said, there's 4 comments of period 9. Period 9 wins for listening. Let's see. Nick DeBella says, The Office, bro. The Office. All right, so I know at least 3 people listened to the podcast yesterday. Stay tuned through the end, and there'll be another question, and then you can post the answer on Classroom. Or, you could obviously clearly fast forward to the end of this, but why would you want to do that? Because you don't want to skip over Romeo and Juliet, Act 4, Scene 2, which for me begins on page 187. So you could just that's in the hard copy version. So Act 4, Scene 2. This is really a non-important scene, but we'll get through it anyway. So at this point, Juliet goes back to her house. They've got this plan that the friar comes up with. And I said yesterday, at the beginning, that the friar, it was a bad plan. And then I changed my mind at the end. I said, it's a really good plan. There's just too many moving parts. It's like, I'm going to put up an OK Go video. It's this really, really cool video. And I heard them talk about how complicated it was to make this video because if one thing goes wrong, the whole thing goes wrong. And the chances of everything going right are like 1 in 1,000. So you got to check out that video to see what I'm talking about. I'll post that. Yeah. Well, actually, just take a look at it now. I'm waiting. Go ahead. Take a look. All right, whatever. Anyway, so that video is kind of an example of there's so many moving parts that the chances of it going right are not good. Sort of like the friar's plan here. Okay, so Juliet agrees to the plan, though. She's ready to do it. So she goes back home, and let's go with Act 4, Scene 2. Again, I'm on page 187. Capulet starts off with, "So many guests invite are here are writ." Basically, he's saying, here's the guest list. "Sirrah, go hire me 20 cunning cooks." Now, it was going to be a small gathering, but I guess Capulet changed his mind because first he just said he was going to have half a dozen people at the wedding, but you shouldn't need 20 cooks for half a dozen people. The serving man says, "You shall have none ill, sir, for I'll try if they can lick their fingers." I have no idea what that means, but it sounds disgusting. Capulet says, "How canst thou try them so?" Serving man, "Marry, sir, 'tis an ill cook that cannot lick his own fingers, therefore he cannot lick his fingers, goes not with me." Again, I don't really know what that means. I don't care. I think it's supposed to be a joke. Capulet says, "Go, be gone." And the serving man exits. So now he's alone with the nurse and Juliet. He says, "We shall be much unfurnished for this time. What, is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?" Nurse says, "Aye, forsooth." Capulet says, "Well, he may chance to do some good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is." Oh, enter Juliet. So I was wrong before. Juliet wasn't there. So she just came in. Basically, what Capulet just said to Nurse is, well, thank God my harlot of a daughter, which is not a nice term for harlot. My harlot of a daughter just went to the priest. At least something good she did. Okay, so nurse says, see where she comes from shrift with a merry look. Hey, she looks kind of happy. She comes in looking happy. Capulet says, how now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadding? How now, my headstrong? Headstrong means like, if you're headstrong, it means you're like cocky, annoying, like I don't know, like a typical teenager. No offense. Juliet says, where I have learned me to repent the sin of displeasing opposition to you and your behests, and I am enjoined to by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here. Then she kneels. To beg your pardon, I beseech you. Henceward, I am ever ruled by you. Basically, she's saying to her father, she's like, I'm so sorry, Daddy. I should have listened to you. I'm going to marry Paris. Capulet says, send for the county. That's Paris. Send for Paris. Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning. Basically, he's like, oh, this is great news. I'll move the wedding up till tomorrow morning. So tomorrow you'll get married, like first thing in the morning. He keeps changing the wedding date. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it was a lot easier to change a wedding date now or then. I mean, now if you change a wedding date. Ooh. Anyway, moving on. Juliet says, I met the youthful lord at Lawrence's cell and gave him what becomed love I might. Now, not stepping over the bounds of modesty. She's like, I already saw him and I said, oh, Paris, I will marry you. Which we know she actually did kind of say, but very coldly, and she didn't mean it. Capulet says, well, I'm glad on it. This is well. Stand up. He says, oh, sweet. This is as it should be. Let me see the county. Ah, Mary, go, I say, and fetch him hither. Now, afore God, this reverend holy friar, all our whole city is much bound to him. Nurse, Juliet says, Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort out needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow? She's basically saying, Nurse, help me pick out my outfit for tomorrow, my wedding outfit. Lady Capulet says, no, not till Thursday. There is time enough. Capulet says, go, Nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow. He's like, no, we changed the wedding date. We moved it up. Help her out now. Lady Capulet says, where'd she come from? Oh, Lady Capulet's been in there the whole time? Look at that. Didn't know. Lady Capulet says, we shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night. Capulet says, tush, I will stir about thee, and all things shall be well. I warrant thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet. Help to deck her up. I'll not be to bed tonight. Let me alone. I'll play housewife for this once. What? They're all forth. Well, I will walk myself to County Paris to prepare up him against tomorrow. My heart is wondrous light, since this same wayward girl is so reclaimed. He's like, go help out. I'll do the chores that you normally would. All right, so basically that whole scene is Capulet, her making amends with her parents, and Capulet saying, let's move the wedding up even further. That's all that really happened there. And, so Juliet's playing along with this whole thing. Okay, so let's go to scene 3. Before we go to scene 3, let's take a look at the things that you're asked to do for our homework there. It says at the top, describe the essence of the scene, Act 4, Scene 3, in exactly a sentence of 7 words. So that's a little challenge there. Describe the scene in 7 words. Okay, 3 things you do to create this mood if you were directing this play. So what would you do? How would you have the lighting if you were directing the play? What would you do to help create the mood of this scene if you were a director? Juliet's soliloquy. Describe 3 fears Juliet has about taking the potion. Seems pretty clear to me. We got to draw a symbol to represent Juliet's state of mind. Not a symbol like on a drum set. Reread the speech, then pick out 8 key words from it, which encapsulate, good word, her meaning. Encapsulate means like really important, that really show. Write a newspaper headline about the event. What is one question you would ask Juliet if you could meet her in the scene? Can you relate to Juliet's state of mind or anxiety at this point? Even if you can't relate to the details of her circumstances, explain fully why or why not. Okay, so just keep those in mind as we read this next scene, okay? So I am on page 191 of the hard copy, and it says scene 3. Enter Juliet and the nurse. Juliet says, Aye, these attires are best, but gentle nurse, I pray thee, leave me to myself tonight. For I have need of many orisons to move to the heavens to smile upon my state, which well thou knowest is cross and full of sin. She's asking to be alone tonight. That was part of the Friar Lawrence's plan, to be alone. Enter Lady Capulet, Mama. Lady Capulet says, "What, are you busy? Need you my help?" Juliet says, "No, madam. We have called such necessaries as are behooveful for our state tomorrow, so please you, let me be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you. For I am sure you have your hands full all in the sudden busyness." She's like, no, you're busy. Leave me alone. Go chill out with the nurse. Mom says, Lady Capulet says, "Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need." You need to go to sleep because you're getting married in the morning. Lady Capulet and the nurse exit, leaving Juliet alone. Okay, so this coming up is quite long. This is Juliet's soliloquy. Don't forget, a soliloquy is when a character speaks their thoughts alone on stage so that the audience can hear their thoughts. So this is Juliet's thoughts. Juliet says, "Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse!" What should she do here? My dismal scene, I needs must act alone. Come, vial. So, she's scared. She's alone. She wants to call back the nurse. And then she says, no, I've got to do this. So she takes out the vial that the friar gave her. What if this mixture did not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? All right, so there's something she's scared of. What if it doesn't work? She takes out her knife and puts it down beside her, I guess, if it doesn't work. No, this shall forbid it. Basically saying, I'll kill myself if this doesn't work. Lie thou there. What if it be a poison, which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored, because he married me before to Romeo. Now she's questioning whether the friar, if it's actually poison, and the friar wants to kind of kill her just so that he doesn't dishonor himself by marrying her twice. I fear it is, and yet methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man. How if, when I'm laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo comes to redeem me? That's a fearful point. Shall I not be stifled in the vault, to whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Now she's worried about being buried alive. I mean, she wakes up and she finds out that she's like, I mean, can you imagine? You wake up and find that you're in a coffin? Scary. Or if I live, it is not very like the horrible conceit of death and night, together with terror of place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle, where for this many 100 year the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed, where bloody Tybalt, yet but green in the earth, lies festering in his shroud, where, as they say, at some hours in the night's spirits resort. Alack, it is not like that I, so early waking, what with the lonesome smells and shrieks of mandrakes torn out of the earth, that living mortals, hearing them, run mad. Basically there, she's saying, also, what if I wake up and I'm surrounded by a bunch of dead bodies? This is scary stuff. I mean, yeah. I wouldn't want to wake up in a coffin surrounded by dead bodies. It's not my idea of a good time. Anymore. Where was I? I'm at line 50. Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefathers' joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this rage, with some great kinsman bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains? Now she's worried, what if she wakes up and starts going mad, and she starts, I don't know, just starts going crazy. Look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost seeking out Romeo, that did split his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay! Romeo, here's drink. I drink to thee. She drinks the vial. And she's going to take her chances. And she falls on her bed. And, that's it. So let's again go through the worksheet here. Okay? Describe the essence of that scene. The essence means what's the main point of that scene? What's the gist of it in seven words, okay? 3 fears about Juliet. I was pretty clear. I kind of stopped and said those fears in plain English. All right, now you're going to have to go through that monologue, that soliloquy rather, not monologue. Monologue is when other characters can hear as well. Soliloquy, they can't. Go through and find 8 key words that really capture the meaning of that. Draw a symbol to represent her state of mind. 3 things you would do to create the mood of this play. The scene rather. Newspaper headline about this event. Oh, that's super easy. One question you would ask Juliet if you could meet her, and can you relate to her state of mind and anxiety? I mean, that's pretty crazy. All right, so once again, you could send me a picture. I had a couple of you send me a picture through email. You could send me a picture through Mind of your work. You could write it on the Google Doc. Like I'll just write all those questions in a Google Doc form. The worksheet actually is more visually appealing than the Google Doc is, but whatever. And yeah, upload it. I'll give you a week to finish this. And yeah, let's see. What's today's question? Okay, today's question is, can you beat me at rock, paper, scissors? Okay, you got to be honest. We're going to play rock, paper, scissors right now. I'm just going to tell you what I put down. Okay, I'm going to say rock, paper, scissors says shoot, and then you're going to shoot, and I'll tell you what I put down. We'll do 2 out of 3. Okay? And if I win, you just have to tell me that Mr. Q won in the comments. If you win, tell me that you win, but you got to be honest. Ready? Here we go. All right. And rock, paper, scissors says shoot. I put down paper. So if you put down rock, I beat you. Okay? And rock, paper, scissors says shoot. That time I put down scissors. Okay? So if you put down rock, you beat me. If you put down paper, I beat you. If you put down scissors, we tied. Last one. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Put down paper again. Okay, these next few are just for tiebreakers if you need a tiebreaker. Ready? Tiebreakers. Rock, paper, scissors says shoot. I put down paper again. Oh, you didn't see that coming, did you? Ready? Rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Up, I put down paper again. Rock, paper, scissors says shoot. And I put down rock. Now, if we tied up to this point, it was a good game. Otherwise, I think I beat most of you, right? All right, man. Hope you're all well. Miss ya. Talk to you soon. Bye.